Okay, monumental pain in the ass. I didn't realize that my house is not wired for plasma cutters, and probably not for welders too, but definitely not plasma cutters. I kept blowing the circuit, so I couldn't crank it all the way up. I had to keep it down below 20 amps, so it was not nearly hot enough, and it took a lot of time just going back and forth on it, and it just was not blasting the hole like I wanted it to. So it turned out way uglier than I wanted it to, but luckily all this will be welded over. Okay, so that part's done. I can kind of see what's going on in here. So you can see the old one just sawzalled that out of the way. The new one is in much better shape, of course. I think it's a stronger metal, a better shock mount. We'll get that zipped in there, and we'll paint that as we're painting everything else once we get to that stage. But I'm going to get that buzzed in and then figure out the next step. Okay, I got it clamped in and about as centered as I can get it. So it comes with these markers here, top and bottom, so you can center it. Front plates have the notches for the side to side. Clamp is just big enough to get the one side on, so I'll worry about the other side here in a minute. Butches in, strap is down, made sure that I can get my shock in there, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up my welder and pray that it's hot enough to burn this in. Almost skipped a very important step here. To grind down the metal, make a nice clean surface to weld on, clean as I could at least. Hit it with an angle grinder, sanding bit, 40 grit, and then same thing on that side. And then I hit it with some brake clean and a dry cloth, because you need a clean surface to weld on. You can't weld on rust and dirt. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing lined back up. I mean, I ain't showing you all my booger welds. I'm not a welder. I haven't welded since I was in high school, which is about 20 years ago, so it ain't pretty, but I'll show you one of my better welds on here. Not all of them look like that. This was probably the doing the tops is probably the easiest part right here. But you'll probably get glimpses of my booger welds. But you guys can figure out how to booger weld on your own. Yeah, but beat the crap out of it with a hammer. Didn't fall off. So insides and outs are on. I can probably go ahead and mount that inner shock if I want to. So that's on there. You definitely tell there was some thinner spots on the frame because it blew through. Welding it to the frame was probably the most difficult part, but welding the plates to itself is probably the easier part. I'll show you. Right. And here was probably the easiest. Kind of booger welded. But yeah. Hopefully I get better and do cleaner welds as I go. But you won't learn anything by not trying, right? So I'm giving it a go. Because if I can't fix this truck, then it's going to the dump. So I might as well try, right? That's what I think. Okay, well that's on, so I think I'm going to tackle this next. Probably hit it with a grinder and then weld on some angle iron. Hopefully I can get that right in there. Might have to cut the angle iron a little bit, but I'll see if I can get some angle iron on there. It looks like it needs to go all the way down. I need a strip. Probably goes all the way back. The top is still pretty good, but I got to do that on both sides. Ain't trying to save this truck forever, just long enough to figure out something else to do with it. Really, 1-ton frame swap, body swap it onto a 1-ton. I don't know. The body's still pretty nice. I need to do some rocker panels and stuff, but anything to save it from the dump at this point.